She arrived home at 4 in the morning with a man's phone number scrawled on her hand. I asked her to explain. She snapped back that she didn't owe me any answers. Either trust me or get out. I just smiled. The next morning, I set up a dumping my cheater yard sale in front of the house and put all her luxury items up for rock-bottom prices. Her face when she pulled up and saw half the neighborhood walking off with armfuls of her belongings? Priceless. Here's the thing about being with someone for 3 years who's obsessed with high-end fashion but earns roughly half what you do. Over time, all her pricey possessions end up stored at your place. Not because you paid for them. I'm not stupid. It's just that your house is larger, nicer, and doesn't come with a roommate who borrows things without asking. My name's Alex, 32 years old, software developer, pulling in about $110,000 a year. I own a 3-bedroom house in a solid suburban neighborhood. Closed on it 2 years back. Title in my name alone. Mortgage in my name alone. My property. My girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend now, but we'll get to that, was named Ariana, marketing coordinator at a medium-sized firm. Around $58,000 salary. She had a tiny apartment shared with a roommate called Crystal, who had a nasty habit of taking Ariana's things without permission. About 6 months into dating, Ariana began leaving clothes at my house. Then footwear. Then what felt like her whole wardrobe. Then an elaborate makeup setup that demanded its own drawer organization in the bathroom. Then the designer purses that supposedly needed special storage away from direct light and moisture. Crystal keeps using my Gucci without asking, she'd complain. Can I leave it here? Sure. I had room. My Saint Laurent heels got ruined because Crystal wore them out clubbing. Can I store my shoes here? Fine. There was an extra bedroom. 2 years later, Ariana was basically living with me full-time, contributing nothing toward rent, occasionally chipping in for groceries. All her expensive items filled the spare bedroom, which had turned into her private luxury closet. We're talking thousands upon thousands in handbags, shoes, outfits, accessories. Did I purchase any of it? Not a single piece. She bought everything herself, mostly on credit, which in hindsight was red flag number 1. But she earned her own money, spent it how she wanted, and I never minded, until I should have started paying closer attention to how she was spending her nights. Friday evening. I was home finishing some late work. Had a production release scheduled for midnight. Ariana had headed out with her work friends around 8. She'd been doing that more and more. Every Friday, often Thursdays too. I didn't think anything of it. I trusted her. Biggest mistake. Midnight came. Deployment went without issues. Wrapped up by 12:30. Ariana still wasn't back. I sent a text. No reply. 1 a.m. Still nothing. 2 a.m. I called. Straight to voicemail. 3 a.m. I wasn't panicked. I was irritated. We lived together. While she stayed in my house, basic courtesy, like letting me know she'd be out all night, seemed reasonable. 4 a.m. I heard a car outside. Front door opened. Ariana came in. Not stumbling drunk, but clearly tipsy. Makeup smeared. Hair tousled. Wearing that overly bright smile people put on when they're trying to act sober. Hey babe, sorry I'm so late. We were having such a good time. Jessica just got promoted and we were celebrating. And what's that on your hand? She glanced down. On her left palm, in blue ink, a 10-digit phone number. No name attached. Just the digits. Oh, she tried rubbing it off. Only smeared it further. That's nothing. Some random guy wrote it there. I told him I have a boyfriend. I didn't even ask for it. So you let him write his number on your skin anyway? I was drunk. He wouldn't take no for an answer. It's meaningless. I just looked at her. I'm a developer. I think logically. I analyze patterns. And every alarm in my head was blaring. Ariana, you roll in at 4 a.m. Another man's number inked on your hand. I think I'm entitled to some kind of explanation. The fake cheerful mask fell away. Her expression turned hard. I don't owe you a thing. Trust me or walk. Silence. Come again? You heard me. Either you trust me completely or you leave. I'm not going to be grilled like a criminal in my own house. Her own house. My mortgage. My deed. This isn't your house, I said quietly. This is my property. You simply store things here. Whatever. The point is I'm not answering an interrogation. I went out. A guy flirted. I shut him down. That's it. If you can't trust me, maybe we shouldn't even be a couple. Classic deflection. Flip the script. Make me the villain for daring to ask questions. I smiled. You're absolutely right. What? You're right. If I can't trust you, We shouldn't stay together. I meant you should just trust me and, no, I understand. We're finished. Her face cycled through shock, fury, disbelief. You're ending us? Over literally nothing? Over you coming home at 4 a.m. with another guy's digits on your hand and refusing to explain. Yeah, this is crazy. You're crazy. Maybe. But this is my house, and we're over. You need to go. It's 4 a.m. Uber's a thing. I'm not leaving tonight. This is absurd. We'll discuss it tomorrow once you've cooled off. She stormed into the bedroom. Doors slammed. I sat on the living room couch. Considered my choices. She had essentially told me we were through. Her words, maybe we shouldn't be together. She'd lived here rent-free, never on any paperwork. This was my home. And she'd just torched the relationship rather than explain a phone number. I opened my laptop, looked up abandoned property laws in my state. Turns out, when someone leaves belongings at a residence after a relationship ends and ignores requests to retrieve them, the items are legally considered abandoned after a notice period. In my state, that's 30 days with written notice. But there's wiggle room. If the person explicitly terminates the relationship and vacates, the abandonment clock can start immediately, especially when they never paid rent or signed anything. I composed an email and sent it to Ariana at 4:47 a.m. Subject: Relationship termination and property retrieval. Ariana, as we discussed tonight, our relationship has ended. You stated that if I could not trust you, maybe we shouldn't be together. I agree. Please remove all your personal belongings from my residence within 24 hours. Any items remaining after that time will be treated as abandoned property and disposed of at my discretion. Regards, Alex. I heard the notification chime from the bedroom. Heard her phone vibrate. Heard nothing else. At 6 a.m., her alarm went off. I heard movement. She emerged dressed for a jog. She sometimes ran Saturday mornings with her friend Melissa. I'm heading out for a run. We'll talk like grown-ups when I return. Did you see my email? I'm not reading dramatic emails. We'll talk later. She left. I checked the time. 6:15 a.m. I looked at the spare room packed with luxury goods. I looked at the folding tables in my garage. I made up my mind. By 7 a.m., I had 6 tables arranged on the driveway. Borrowed a couple from neighbor Bob after filling him in. He found the whole thing hilarious and volunteered to help. You're actually going through with it? Bob asked, hauling a table. Yes. She's going to lose it. That's kind of the goal. By 7:30, everything was laid out neatly. Clothes grouped by category. Shoes arranged by size. Handbags displayed prominently. Jewelry in small trays. It resembled a high-end boutique having a fire sale. Bob stepped back to admire the setup. How much is all this worth total? She always claimed around $15,000. Damn. And you're pricing it at? I started tagging items. $50 here. $100 there. $75 for that one. You're selling a $2,000 bag for $100? Exactly. You're a legend. By 8 a.m., signs were ready. Bob helped with those. His handwriting was neater. Yard sale, everything must go. Designer luxury items, massive discounts. Gucci $50, Louis Vuitton $100, YSL $75. Cash only, all sales final. Then the centerpiece. I grabbed a large poster board and wrote in bold marker. Dumping my cheater's sale. She rolled in at 4 a.m. with another guy's phone number written on her hand. I asked for an explanation. She said, I don't owe you anything. Now her belongings don't live here anymore either. Price is negotiable, cash only. Bob read it and nearly collapsed laughing on my porch steps. You're really putting that out front? 100%. This might be the greatest thing I've ever seen. I placed it front and center at the end of the driveway, visible to every passing car. At 8:15, neighbor Carol strolled by with her dog. Stop dead. Read the sign. Mouth fell open. Alex, are you okay? Never better, Carol. Just clearing out some clutter. How's Mr. Fluffkins doing? Her dog sniffed a handbag. She tugged him away, still staring. So, she really came home at 4 a.m.? Yes. With another man's number on her hand? In blue ink, yes. And she told you she didn't owe you an explanation? Exact quote. I don't owe you anything. Trust me or leave. Carol's expression shifted from shock to sympathy to curiosity. She had the bags. Is that an authentic Prada? Yes. $80. $80 for a Prada? Yes. Real, not fake. Ariana only bought authentic. Everything here is genuine. Carol was already reaching for her wallet. I'll take it. And those Gucci ones? She walked off with 3 bags, Mr. Fluffkins looking bewildered as his morning walk turned into a shopping trip. By 8:30, word had somehow spread. Maybe Carol texted friends. Maybe drivers slowed to read the sign. But cars started arriving. People walking over from nearby streets. A woman in yoga gear power walked up. I saw your sign from 2 blocks away. Is this for real? Completely. She read the poster. Oh my God. She actually came home at 4 a.m.? Yes. With another guy's number? On her hand and pen. What a piece of work. Is that a Michael Kors watch? Yes. $60. Sold. She grabbed the watch and 2 pairs of designer sunglasses. My book club is going to lose their minds when I tell them. By 9 a.m., it was a proper crowd. 20-plus people browsing, snapping photos of the sign. I overheard someone say they were posting it on Facebook. Knew this would blow up fast. Everything authentic? Yes. Why the insane prices? I pointed to the poster. They'd read it. Eyes widening. Look at me. Look at the items. Look back at me. So your girlfriend? No. Ex-girlfriend as of a few hours ago. And this was all hers? Was hers. She abandoned it after ending our relationship at 4 a.m. this morning following her arrival with another man's number on her hand. You could see them weighing legality, morality, reality, then spotting a $2,000 bag tagged at $80 and deciding morality could wait. Sales flew. Mrs. Henderson from a few doors down bought 4 pairs of heels. My daughter's wedding is coming up. These are perfect. Bob from across the street picked up a Burberry trench for his wife's birthday. This retails for like $1,500, right? Probably more. You're letting it go for $100? Yes. Sold. The teenage girl 2 houses over grabbed 6 dresses. They're my size. You're sure about the prices? Absolutely. This is the best day of my life. Around 9:30, I sold a Louis Vuitton bag to someone who looked familiar. Ariana's coworker Jessica, the one whose promotion was supposedly being celebrated. These were Ariana's things, Jessica said cautiously. Were Ariana's. She left them behind. Does she know you're doing this? She was notified to retrieve her property. She decided to go running instead. Jessica bought the bag plus 3 silk scarves. She's going to flip. Likely. By 10 a.m., I'd cleared $3,400. Inventory was dwindling. People were disappointed. Any more bags? Just sold the last. Shoes left? A few size 7 pairs. Gone within minutes. At 10:30, tires screeched. Not a normal stop, an actual movie-style screech. Ariana's white Honda Civic flew down the street and braked hard in front of the house. She jumped out, still in her running outfit. Bright pink sports bra, black leggings, face flushed, ponytail messy, phone clutched in hand. Someone had obviously tipped her off. She took in the driveway, the tables, the remaining shoppers, the signs, the huge poster explaining everything. Her face went from flushed to furious purple. What the hell have you done? Every person froze. Browsing stopped. Conversation stopped. Then phones came out. Everyone started filming. Good morning, Ariana. How was the run? Where's all my stuff? I gestured at the nearly empty tables and the few leftover pieces. Most of it has new owners. People really appreciated the deals. You sold my belongings? I disposed of abandoned property left in my residence after you terminated our relationship. I didn't terminate anything. You broke up with me. You said, direct quote, I don't owe you anything. Trust me or leave. Then you added that maybe we shouldn't be together. I agreed. You left. That's termination. Initiated by you. That's not what I meant. That's what you said. Where's my black Gucci bag? Carol down the street bought that one. Really liked it. Carol? Yes, she was walking Mr. Fluffkins. Nice woman. Paid cash. Ariana looked ready to explode. My Louis Vuitton bags. Had 3. All gone. 1 to Mrs. Henderson, 1 to the yoga lady, 1 to a blonde woman, very enthusiastic buyer. My Prada heels? Mrs. Henderson took 4 pairs. Said they'd be perfect for her daughter's wedding. Mrs. Henderson? She lives 3 doors down. Knows you well. A woman still browsing raised her hand timidly. Excuse me, are you Ariana? Ariana spun around. Who wants to know? I'm Sarah. I bought your red dress, the one with tags still attached. Just wanted to say thanks. Wearing it to a wedding next month. You bought my dress? Yes, $40. Still had the $400 tag. Amazing deal. I never even got to wear it. Well, I will now. Thanks. Sarah walked off happily with her bag. Ariana's eye twitched. I'm calling the cops. Please do. Want to borrow my phone? No. She fumbled with hers, hands shaking, dialed 911. The remaining crowd was fully invested. One woman openly live streaming, whispering commentary. 911. What's your emergency? My boyfriend stole everything I own and is selling it in the driveway. I could hear the dispatcher through the speaker. Ma'am, slow down. Your boyfriend is selling your property. Yes. Thousands of dollars worth, without permission. Are you at the scene now? Yes. Is he threatening you in any way? No, he's just standing there smiling. I was indeed smiling. This was exceeding expectations. Ma'am, this sounds like a civil matter, not criminal. If it's a property dispute following a breakup. It's not a breakup. We're still together. The dispatcher paused. Is he your boyfriend or not, ma'am? Ariana glanced at me, at the crowd, at her phone. Just send someone. She hung up, glared. Cops are on their way. Great. I'll show them the 4:47 a.m. email, giving you 24 hours to retrieve your abandoned property, your text about us not being together, the state statute on abandonment, and receipts for every sale. Her brain was clearly racing for an escape route. Right on cue, Mrs. Henderson strolled past carrying 2 bulging shopping bags full of shoes. She spotted Ariana, smiled, and waved. Ariana. Hello, dear. Didn't realize you were moving. Ariana's head snapped around. Mrs. Henderson? Yes, sweetie. Just wanted to thank you for the shoes. Perfect for my daughter's wedding, and such reasonable prices. Alex mentioned you were clearing everything out. Those are my shoes. Well, they were. Now they're mine. I paid for them. You didn't buy them from me. I bought them from Alex. He explained you ended the relationship and left the items behind. Perfectly legal, dear. My son's an attorney. I called him first to be sure. He confirmed that once written notice is given and ignored, it's abandonment. He didn't give proper notice. He showed me the email, sent 4:47 a.m., very precise timestamp. Also showed me your message saying maybe we shouldn't be together. That constitutes termination, according to my son. Ariana looked on the verge of tears or screaming. You've known me 2 years, and you still bought my shoes. Mrs. Henderson's smile vanished, replaced by icy suburban mom steel. Yes, I bought your shoes. Because you came home at 4 a.m. with another man's phone number written on your hand and told a good man he had to trust you blindly or leave. That's cheating behavior, dear. Cheaters don't get my sympathy, but they do apparently have excellent taste in footwear. These Jimmy Choos are stunning. She continued walking. Those were $800 shoes. Ariana shouted after her. I paid $75. Mrs. Henderson called back cheerfully. Bargain. You can't do this. I already did. I'm suing you. For what? I provided written notice. You ignored it. Sue if you want. I'll counter with 2 years of unpaid rent and storage at market rate. Roughly $30,000. Then, perfect timing, a silver Toyota pulled up. Out stepped Melissa, Ariana's running buddy and best friend of 7 years. Melissa held a Starbucks cup in one hand, a shopping bag in the other. She took in the scene, crowd, tables, signs, me, Ariana. Oh, hi, Ariana. Ariana went from angry red to pale shock. Melissa, what are you doing here? Saw the sale posted in the neighborhood Facebook group. Figured I'd swing by. You came to buy my things? I didn't know they were yours until I read the comments a few minutes ago. She lifted her bag. But yeah, I picked up a few pieces. What did you get? Melissa pulled out a silver Tiffany bracelet. That's my Tiffany bracelet. My mom gave it to me. For how much? I asked. $40. Nice. $40? Ariana shrieked. It retailed for $600. Then your mom got ripped off, Melissa said calmly, sipping her coffee. It's silver-plated, not solid. I know jewelry. My sister works at Tiffany. Still cute, though. You're supposed to be my best friend. How could you? Melissa's face hardened. Ariana, you came home at 4 a.m. with another man's number on your hand. Refused to explain it to your boyfriend. Told him trust you or leave. He chose leave. Then you left thousands of dollars of belongings in his house without retrieving them. That's abandonment. I didn't abandon anything. I was coming back for it. When? You went running this morning instead of responding to his email. You're my best friend. I'm also someone who doesn't excuse cheating. I didn't cheat. Melissa arched an eyebrow. Where were you really last night? Ariana opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. Nothing. Because I was home by midnight. Melissa went on. We left the bar together at 11:45. You said you were going to the restroom. 20 minutes later, Jessica told me you'd left with some guy from work. Brandon from accounting. The one whose number you've been writing on your hand for weeks. The one you've been sleeping with for 2 months. Ariana's expression confirmed every word. The crowd was silent, phone still recording. So yeah, Melissa finished. I bought your bracelet. Because you cheated on Alex. And honestly, he handled this like a champ. You're lucky he didn't post pictures of that phone number everywhere. She turned to me. Is that red YSL clutch still available? Yes, $50. Sold. Melissa paid, took the clutch, got back in her car with her purchases, waved. Thanks, Alex. Great finds. Drove off. Ariana stood in the middle of my driveway, surrounded by strangers filming, publicly exposed by her own best friend. I hate every single one of you, she screamed to no one in particular. By 11 a.m., every last item was gone. Purses, shoes, dresses, jewelry sold out. Total take, for $1,100. People still asked if I had more. Sorry, that's everything. One-time event. Ariana sat on the curb crying, phone buzzing nonstop, likely friends who'd seen the viral posts. I folded the tables, removed the signs, deposited the cash via mobile banking. Ariana finally approached. You're a monster. I'm a guy who got cheated on and refused to roll over. I didn't cheat. You came home at 4 a.m. with another man's number and refused to explain. That was enough for me. I want my things back. They have new owners. All sales final. Receipts say so. I'll make you pay for this. How? You abandoned property in my home after ending our relationship. I gave notice. You ignored it. All legal. Petty? Maybe. Illegal? No. She stormed to her car, slammed the door, peeled out. Neighbor Bob wandered over. That was the most entertaining Saturday morning in decades. Happy to provide the show. She really cheated? Came home at 4 a.m. with a number on her hand and told me trust her or leave. I chose leave. Smart move. My wife loves that coat, by the way. Thanks. Anytime. The rest of the weekend was peaceful. Ariana flooded my phone with angry texts, threats, pleas. I blocked her. Sunday morning, unknown number called. Answered. Alex? This is Officer Martinez, local PD. Got a report from Ariana about stolen property. Claims you sold her belongings. I disposed of abandoned property after providing written notice. I have the email, her relationship-ending text, sale receipts. Can you forward those? I did. 20 minutes later, he called back. You're in the clear. No case. Property abandoned post-breakup, notice given and ignored. Civil at worst, and she'd lose. Off the record, my wife snagged 3 bags yesterday. She's thrilled. I chuckled. Glad to hear it. Thanks, officer. Monday, call from a lawyer claiming to represent Ariana. Requested return of property or compensation for $15,000 value. I repeated the facts, abandonment, notice, termination text, proof of delivery. Mentioned potential counterclaim for 2 years unpaid rent/storage, around $30,000. He said he'd discuss with his client. Never heard back. 3 months later, ran into Jessica at a cafe. She confirmed Ariana had been seeing the guy for months. The number on her hand that night was his. She'd washed it off previous times, but forgot that night because she was drunk. Also said Ariana was spinning the story that I was a controlling jerk punishing her for a girl's night out. But anyone who knew the truth thought I handled it perfectly. 6 months on, I'm still in my house. Spare bedroom now has gym equipment instead of designer clutter. No drama. No cheating partner. Best $4,100 I ever earned. The dumping my cheater sale is neighborhood legend. Mrs. Henderson still shows off her shoes. Bob's wife wears that coat everywhere. Ariana? Last I heard, she's living with the guy from work. In an apartment. With a roommate who borrows her things. Some patterns don't change. Me? Lesson learned. Next partner doesn't store a thing here unless she's paying rent or on the deed. And if anyone ever comes home at 4 a.m. with another person's number on their hand, I'll know exactly how to respond. Though I doubt I'll ever again have $15,000 in luxury goods to liquidate. That truly was a once-in-a-lifetime deal. And I seized it.